Hello again, everyone. Popping back on to talk a little bit more about the importance of energy today and the importance of spin and energy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, oh, got a siren going by. Sorry. My office is near a hospital and a fire department, so we get those sirens on a periodic basis. Anyway, energy. Everything is energy. I used to have this image in my awareness that energy was like aura photography and um, the classic aura pictures, things of that nature. And fortunately, I started studying quantum mechanics and quantum biology, and in that process, became aware of spin. That energy is spinning, either counterclockwise or anticlockwise or clockwise. And that's relates to clockwise relates to contraction, which equates to, in human terms, those feeling bad feelings, or I should say, and the counterclockwise, anticlockwise spin of energy relates to, in human terms, to feeling good feelings, gratitude, joy, all of those sorts of things. And I wanted to show you today something that you might find very interesting. So I'm going to pop on a picture of an amino acid molecule. So take a look at this, and you'll see that you'll see there's two hands, left and right, and that there's all the same components in that molecule, carbon and so forth, hydrogen, all that. What's interesting is that these two parts are one molecule, and it represents a mirror image. In scientific terms, this is referred to as the chirility of quantum biomolecules. It's a mouthful, I know. But what that really means is that there is a portion of the molecule that is spinning clockwise and a portion of the molecule that's spinning counterclockwise. Contraction, expansion. Now, what's interesting about this is that the DNA strands are comprised, or the root building blocks of the DNA are the expansion spin portions of the amino acid molecular structure. That means that right now, as you're sitting or standing or whatever you're doing, your pretty much primarily your physical body, the energy field of your physical body, think spin, is spinning an expansion. Now let's go back to that molecule now, showing the handedness. Because chirility or chiral just means handedness, left and right hand. They're, again, mirror image. And again, the DNA only uses the expansion spin portion. The contraction spin portion plays a very important role, because without the expansion spin, without the contraction spin, there would be no form or shape. Think about it. If everything was energetically spinning an infinite expansion, how would anything maintain form or shape? So the contraction, or the AKA feeling bad feelings, play a role in our whole experience here in the physical world. Without contraction, which is energy that's spinning to the right, clockwise, there would be no form and shape. So we're primarily expansion energy with just enough contraction to maintain shape and form. And this is important because in the human experience, there is a tendency, because the expansion spin feeling in the body is filtered out. We don't feel it unless we know about techniques to override that filtering system, and there are ways for that. I'll get into that another time. But just for today, I want to highlight the fact that right now, most people are walking around and doing what they're doing, and they're feeling the contraction in their body, which again equates to self-judgment, judgment of others, unworthiness. Those are all the human words for that feeling of tightness, separation, abandonment, all of that. So we feel that contraction, and therefore we relate to that as being something about us, about our consciousness, about our identity. When in truth, it's just a small portion of what's going on inside. And when we are able to override that filtering, we're able to feel what we're primarily already, which is expansion. Remember the DNA, counterclockwise spin. That's what we mostly are. The reason why this is important is because with the filtering, we're only aware, feeling in our bodies, the contraction spin. And the second mechanism of that filtering system is it redirects the feeling good expansion feeling experience as being externally sourced from an outside person, place, or thing. So that means that we, in our human consciousness, never really own the goodness of us. When we talk about self-love, it always seems so external. And that's because of this blocking program filtering system. So we'll get into that in another subsequent broadcast. But today, I just wanted to share with you this information about correlity of the quantum biomolecules, so that you'll understand that we already are energy spinning, either clockwise or counterclockwise. That's what we are comprised of. And the clockwise is, in human perception, relates to the feeling bad, quote, feelings, and the expansion spin, the counterclockwise, relates to the feeling good feelings. And I want to invite you to reframe that the contraction isn't bad, it's necessary. And if it wasn't for the filtering of blocking the internal experience of expansion we feel in our body and redirecting as externally sourced, we would barely notice the contraction because there's so much more expansion. That's what we are. The very essence of our being is counterclockwise expansion spin energy, which relates to that feeling of all is well. So play with that, and I'll check back in. And if you have questions or anything, feel free to pop on. And or if you watch this on the replay, let me know. And if again, if you have a question, you can leave me a comment, and I'll address it in subsequent broadcasts. So until then, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, and come back in next week. Blessings of joy.